Now, let's start with chapter 10, lesson 4, which is talking about how can we find a parameter and areas of similar polygons. Here now, in this lesson, that I give you the scale factor of two similar figures. I mean that if you have this polygon and another one that's smaller than it. And I told you, or I give you a scale factor. This is 3, and the side here is 3, and the side here is 5. So since now the length of the small one is 3 and of the bigger one is 5, you will say that the scale factor here is 3/5. Since we have this scale factor, I can use this skills to say or to find the parameter and also the area. So I mean that I have two shapes. For these two shapes, I give you the scale factor. And I told you, if you know that the scale factor for these two shapes is 3/5. And if you know the parameter of the smaller one is 15 as an example, what's the parameter of the second one? Or if I told you that the scale factor is 3/5 and the area of the smaller one is 300, what will be the area for the second one or for the bigger one? We will learn now today if we have two shapes and these two shapes don't have any information about the opposite, the side, and I ask you to find the area. The only thing that you know, the scale factor to another shape. How can we find the area of this shape? Let's see how. To find or to compare the parameter and the area of figures, you have to use the ratio. If the scale factor of two similar figures is A/B, so the ratio of the parameter, it will be A/B, and the ratio of their areas, it will be A²/B². Let's see now how. Finding ratios and similar figures. The trapezoids at the right are similar. The ratio of the length of the corresponding sides are 6/9 or 2/3. Look at these two shapes here. We have two trapezoids. He told me that they are similar. They are similar, that means they have the same shape, but not the same size. Congruent, same shape, same size. Similar, they have the same size, the same shape, sorry. Yes, they are, both of them are trapezoid. The length of this base here is 6, and the another one is 9. And he asked me now to find the parameter or the area of the second one. How did I know? I didn't have the height. I didn't have the second base to find it in the area of the trapezoid. What I have to do? I have to compare between them using the ratio. Now, he told me from the question that the ratio of the length or with the corresponding sides is 6/9. So I will say now 6/9, which will be a scale factor. Or we name it with A/B. Now, what is the ratio, smaller to larger, of the parameters? I told you now that if you have the scale factor A over B. So the perimeter, it will be A over B, and the area, it will be A squared over B squared, since every time the area is squared. And later on, we will talk about the volume. You will say A cubic over B cubic. So here, I give you the scale factor A over B. I ask you about the ratio of the parameters. You will tell me it's A over B. And if I ask you about the ratio of an area, you tell me it's A squared over B squared. So the scale factor here is A over B, which is 6 over 9. He asked me now, what is the ratio smaller to larger of the parameters? To write the ratio of the parameters, we will say now that the ratio of parameters is as the same as scale factor, which is A over B. What is the scale factor I have here?
6 over 9.
2 over 3.
6 over 9, or 2 over 3. So I will say now the ratio of the parameter is 6 over 9.
And for the area is 6 squared over 9.
Wait. This is for the parameter. It is 6 over 9. Okay, so that's mean from this one here that if I give you the scale factor and I ask you now to find the ratio of the parameter, you will say that the scale factor ratio is as the same as the ratio of the parameter, A over B. So I can find the parameter, which is also A over B. Now here, let's see how can we find the ratio of the areas now. So we say that the scale ratio or the scale factor is 6 over 9. So the ratio A, that I asked me now to find the ratio of the parameters, it's also 6 over 9, as we said. And B now, I want to find now the ratio of the areas. Now, I said that if the scale factor is A over B, so the ratio of the parameter, it will be A over B also, and the ratio of an area, it will be A squared over B squared. What does it mean? That means 6 over 9 squared, because I told you it's A over B squared. So it will be 6 squared, 36 over 81. This is a ratio of an areas. Is it clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, teacher.
Let's solve this, got it? It will be more clear for you. Two similar polygons have the corresponding sides in the ratio 5 to 7. Here we have a similar polygons. He didn't tell me which type of polygons, and it doesn't matter. And he told me that the ratio is 5, the scale ratio is 5 to 7. This is an A over B. So what does it mean? that this first shape is A and the big one is B. Why we say that the first one is A and the big one is B? Because 5 for the small shape and 7 for the larger one. Is it right?
Teacher, can't I say big shape over small shape and then won't I
Yes.
get the same answer?
لا. For this one or in general?
No, in general. Like when I use proportions, can't I put the larger number over the smaller number?
Yes, you can put the larger or small, but you have to know that when you have to find the ratio of the parameter, it will be also larger to smaller, and for the areas too.
Yeah.
So here now, the scale ratio is 5 to 7. That's mean the small shape is 5 and the greater one, let me please. That's mean here, the smaller one is 5 and the greater one is 7. Now the first question, what is the ratio larger to smaller? Be careful here. In the previous one, he told me smaller to larger. Here, larger to smaller. So, Habiba, will the scale factor will be changed?
7/5.
Yes, so because I said larger to smaller, the larger one here is 7 and the smaller one here is 5. So this will be now my new scale factor. So for the parameter, Habiba, what is the ratio of the parameters?
It's 7/5.
It will be 7/5. It is as the same as the scale factor. And what about the ratio of the areas, yeah, Maya? Amaya? The ratio of the areas, it will be 7/5 squared. So it will be 49/25. This will be a ratio of from larger to smaller.